Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And we will get to the Iran deal a bit later. But first, you hoped for the best, but you knew that this was inevitable. I asked during the 3 p.m. Eastern time show that I do, 3 to 4 p.m., what do you call these savages that ruin it for everyone else? You know what I'm talking about. The New York Knicks win the NBA Championship. They're out there burning buses, smashing cars, fighting police, fighting each other, pulling out guns. What do you call these savages? And maybe you can help me come up with a title, because animals is too good for this group, because animals don't behave this way. You hoped for the best, but you knew that this was inevitable. Dominic Carter here with you, 800-848-9222. Times Square shooting sends people running, scattering, just hours after the celebration for the New York Knicks at their parade. One person is in custody.
Why Times Square is up. Look, niggas in the street fighting. See, you heard that, right? You heard that. Shooting, all kinds of shit going on.
So, a great celebration for the New York Knicks. 10,000 police officers out there for the ticker tape parade. But just hours after the parade, these savages just don't know how to act. And you know, I was so proud a few hours ago. I rode the subway. Everywhere you went, folks, nationwide, but everywhere you went in the city of New York, everyone had on a New York Knicks t-shirt. There was no political divide, at least in the city of New York today. Everyone was proud of the basketball team. So I guess, perhaps we should consider ourselves lucky that the gunshots didn't happen during the parade. They happened a few hours later. But you literally see people in Times Square scattering. You heard the gunshot right there. Let's focus on the positive. So I want you folks to help. I don't know what to call these animals. And let's be real. Let's be real. I'm talking about some, not all, right? They are, we don't like to tell the truth. We have to be politically correct. We have to look the other way. We can't tell the truth. You can't tell the truth. You have to hide the truth, because if you tell the truth, it's racial. And you can't do that. So you can't tell the truth. So you be politically correct. 800-848-9222. These hoodlums that ruin it for everybody, the good time for everybody, based on the videos that we consistently see, they are predominantly all African American, a handful of Latinos. And why is it in North Carolina and in NHL, when the hockey team won the Stanley Cup, you didn't have this type of violence? Why is that? You tell me. Why for the NHL, no violence, but the NBA, the New York Knicks, and everything went fine with the actual parade, but a few hours later, gunshots in Times Square. let's focus on the positive for a second. At the event, I want you to listen to Coach Mike Brown.
This championship is about you guys. This is New York City's championship.
This is the owner of the New York Knicks, James Dolan.
So thank you for supporting our team. We're going to keep working to bring you even better basketball, although it's hard to imagine that we get much better than this. But we will, right, fellas? And thank you again for your support.
The owner of the Knicks, and this is the president of operations, Leon Rose.
And last and most importantly, to the greatest fans in the world, we did it for you. Your support in every arena, it felt like a home game wherever we played, and all over the world has been unbelievable. And we hope to see you again very soon.
So positive with the Knicks. Now let's get to the negative. Unfortunately, the ladies of The View. So James Dolan, who was tight with President Trump, and we're going to your telephone calls in just a second, announced that his team is going to the White House, the Knicks, to visit with President Trump. This is Whoopi Goldberg on The View.
Recently, they were at the White House trashing Michelle Obama. I mean, you know.
You mean the UFC?
Yeah. It's kind of.
Well, but you know what?
The indignity of these poor guys having to go down there.
Real men,
but I have to say that I don't agree with the Republican position. I don't agree with Trump. I don't agree with J.D. Vance. I was nice to him. I respect the position. Yeah. I respect the office. And so I'm feeling two ways about it. Like, yes, maybe you have to respect the White House. You don't have to respect who's in the White House, though.
But I think there's a reason why every single, the previous 5 NBA champions crowned during the Trump administration refused to go. I think there's a reason for it. And that's because he politicizes the events that come before him. That's one of the problems. I don't think you can separate Trump from the White House, even though we would like to, because it is the people's house. He doesn't treat it like the people's house.
I want them to go.
Do you?
I want all those black men to stand in our house and remind all of those people, as we try to remind
the vice president,
that when you try to destroy one part of history, you're destroying all of our histories. And they, as champions, not only as amazing basketball players, but as people who were down and came back up. This is what this looks like.
Yes.
This is what this looks like. So I want them to go. I want them to go, if only so the kids know that nobody can keep you down if you are rising up. That's what I want.
I remain very...
So Whoopi Goldberg being as divisive as ever. I mean, you know what, folks? I'm not going to add my 2 cents in. I just don't understand why she's got to say, I want these black ball players to go to the White House, and why can't they just be members of a championship basketball team and leave it at that? 800-848-9222. Let's go to Isabel, line 4, Manhattan. Good morning. What's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. Yeah, you wanted a name for the savages. You can call them uncivilized.
Okay, so, but isn't that too nice for them?
Yeah, I know. It's not bad enough for her. You're right.
So, Isabel, help me understand this. Where did these people come from? I mean, what I don't understand. I mean, you know, I get it. Democrats, they lie to people. They don't want to tell them the truth. And then you have people in urban America that buy into this nonsense, that think they... So I saw a video, Isabel, right, of 2 women at the Knicks celebration fighting. Women of color. They're up on near, like standing up on a flag, no, not a flagpole, but a street sign. One pulls the other one down. The other one pulls at the woman's pants, her pants come down. We see her thong, right? You see this in full view. And she has a derriere that's enough for 5 women. And she starts twerking, literally, up on a pole where we could all see her twerking on the pole. Where did these people come from?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if they're Democrats or not, but I think all the Democrats have gone insane. They never used to be like this. I used to be a Democrat.
Yeah, so did I. But like I said, the Democrat Party left me. I didn't leave them. They left me.
Right,
Thank you for the great
exactly.
telephone call. Thank you, Isabel. Let's go to Vinny, line 3, Massapequa Park. Vinny, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. How you doing? Oh, yeah, I was thinking of the name. Animals it gives a bad name to animals. They call them animals.
Because animals don't behave like that.
Yeah, no, and savages is good, and uncivilized is okay, but a mine word, the best word I use for them is miscreants. Miscreants.
Yeah, but that's too long. And how? And tell me exactly how you define that.
Miscreants?
Yes, how do you define it in this case?
Abnormal, antisocial people. Abnormal, antisocial, dangerous people.
So explain this to me, Vinny. How come they don't get it? That like nobody wants to be around them. That all they are is they breed other people like them, and it's nothing but trouble and welfare for 21 years, and it never gets better. And the housing projects, and it goes on and on and on.
Mm-hmm. It's a lack of parenting, lack of a home life, lack of structure, lack of morality, lack of God in their lives. That's what it is. It's ungodly, that behavior. That's not what God wants. That's not what God wants for us. Burning school buses, shooting at each other, killing each other. God doesn't want that.
Vinny, but who in their right mind pulls out a gun and starts shooting in the middle of Times Square?
Yeah, uncivilized, miscreant, undisciplined people. That's what we got, and a lot of them do. A lot of them, Dominic. A lot of them. So.
Vinny, thank you for the telephone call. Folks, we see your calls, 800-848-9222. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And the video I just referenced is even worse than what I just described. Who just sent this to me? Let me just bear with me here, folks, second, as I'm trying to figure out. I think it's Black Crime Report that just sent this to me. The 2 women, right? 2 women, not men, women. I know it sounds sexist to say that, but women. In my day, women had, and I'm talking about a handful here, had pride in themselves. This would have never happened. So you've got one woman, they're on a traffic pole, a light pole, and you have one woman that's on top of the other one in terms of trying to get a seat. And she's the last person on earth that should be on top of a traffic signal. I'm trying to be nice in saying that she's had maybe 100 pork chops too many, maybe 1,000 pork chops too many. And she's got enough derriere for all of us. So she's coming down, and the smaller petite woman, they're both on the pole. The pork chop woman lands on the hand of the petite woman. And then the pork chop woman grabs the petite woman. They both have on their Knicks gear. And they're both still on the traffic pole, and she yanks her down to the ground. Why did she do that? The petite woman was not having it. So now you still have Miss Porkchop, who's still hanging off the traffic pole. The petite woman runs up behind her and pulls, and her shorts come down. I didn't know they make thongs this big for the woman that Miss Derriere, the pork chop lady. So now it's worse than what I thought. Now we're seeing everything her mama gave her. Everything her mama gave her is in full public view. It's 100 men around them, and it looks like the WWE. This is hours before the shooting. This is at the parade. So what does Miss Porkchop, the heavyset woman, do? She starts twerking. And then the thong disappears. Don't ask me where it went. The petite woman is pulling the thong, and it disappears, almost like a rubber band. So now we see her backside and you know what, okay? And all these men are looking at this, right? And the men, thank God, are not getting involved. And then she stops twerking to do a split on one of the police barricades. After she does a split, she comes down and then starts punching the petite woman. They get into it, and then the men break it up. So she was proud that her backside was shown, everything her mama gave her, her butt, and you know what, her vagina. And she was proud of it. She had no shame in her game, none whatsoever. Let's go to Gene in Mount Vernon, line 2. Gene, good morning. What's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. I wanted to call you earlier today to wish you a happy birthday.
Oh, well, that's very nice of you, Gene. Thank you. I'm just thoroughly disgusted at the gunshots fired.
Belonging to the Police Athletic League?
Yes.
Well, in the late 1980s, I was coming out of the RCA building, and I saw a big board on the sidewalk saying Police Athletic League, and I saw 8 young teenage ladies dressed in nice little outfits, and they were arm in arm having their photo taken. And then out on the sidewalk, there was a boxing ring put up, and there were 2 teenagers that were boxing one another, and one was wearing an outfit said Puerto Rico, and another one said Italy. And the one that was said Puerto Rico, he just shot his right arm way out, and he hit the fellow that was representing Italy, and he knocked him right into the ropes. And then,
hey, Gene, I got a hard break I got to take in 10 seconds. Thank you for the love, and I appreciate the story about PAL. They do God's work around the country. Time for a break. We're coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show, entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And again, we'll get to Iran in just a moment. We see all of your telephone calls, but just hours after the New York Knicks parade, nothing happened during the parade, but hours later in Times Square, folks went scattering as the gunshots started.
Why Times Square is up. Look, niggas in the street fighting. See, you heard that, right? You heard that. Shooting, all kinds of shit going on.
I want to know, what do you call these savages? And I'm serious. I see a number of you are holding on. We're going to get to your calls in just a moment. I don't know. And here's what I'm thinking about. I don't know about you, but here's what I'm thinking about, right? So society spends, let's call it for what it is. These, whatever you call them, they grow up on welfare from the moment they're born. There's the public housing, there's the welfare for years. This goes on and on and on. And so America is spending all of this money for them to grow up and do this, to grow up and ruin it for everybody else. You can't have anything good anymore with people like this. You can't tell them they can't come. Oh, that's racist. And then their Democratic spokespeople will stand up for their rights to be included in everything. And then the video of the two women. I mean, my God. But what was interesting, Mamdani, the mayor, the socialist mayor of New York City, thinks he's so slick. He got up there at the parade. He thinks it's about him, gives a 10-minute long speech. Jalen Brunson didn't speak for 10 minutes, okay? So who are you, Mamdani? You're just the mayor. But you know who's got his card very good? The owner of the Knicks, James Dolan, excuse me. So it appears that Dolan and Mamdani have been feuding. And guess what? Because at the event, James Dolan threw some shade at Mamdani, right? And it seemed like Dolan didn't want to be in a photo with Mamdani. Mamdani was asked about the relationship between him and the owner of the Knicks on MS Now.
James Dolan is the owner of the Knicks. He was up there. He seemed to be like very openly beefing with you and the NYPD during the finals. There were these sort of like passive-aggressive, even kind of not that passive-aggressive statements going back and forth. Today, after you gave his speech, he sort of made a crack about he's not a politician. He's not going to list everything. He didn't seem to want to take a picture with you when you gave him the key to the city. Are you guys cool? Would you say that you have active beef? Did you talk to him today at the parade?
We've spoken both today as well as before, and I think what I appreciated about today is that we were able to work together to make this a day that New Yorkers were able to celebrate and experience, because this is something that people are going to hold on to for the rest of their lives, and I'm happy to work with anyone to make sure that that's possible for as many people as can be possible.
Notice no answer to the question. James Dolan knows how to put Mamdani in his place. We see all your telephone calls. I'm going to get to as many of them as possible. I'm going to get to Christine, Staten Island in just a moment. But I want you to listen to Vice President J.D. Vance. This Iran deal, it's getting nasty, folks, between allies. Listen to the Vice President as it relates to the United States and Israel.
What I will say, and this does bother me, is that you have seen people within Bibi's cabinet who have come out and attacked the deal, and in some ways very personally attacked the President of the United States. And I guess my message to them would be twofold. Number one, Donald J. Trump is the only head of state in the entire world who is sympathetic to the nation of Israel at this moment in time. And he happens to be the head of state of the world's superpower. If I was in the cabinet of the Israeli government, I might not be attacking the only powerful ally that I have anywhere left in the entire world.
All right, folks, let's get back to your telephone calls. Line 3, Christine, Staten Island. Good morning, Christine.
Good morning, Dominic. Happy belated birthday.
Thank
I wanted
you.
to
That's
tell you
very
the
kind
word.
of you to say.
Yeah, the word you're looking for is hooligans. They are hooligans, these Knicks spoilers, which is a person who engages in illicit, reckless behavior and is a public nuisance, often violent, disruptive behavior, and in the context of crowded sporting events in particular.
Hooligans is way too nice for them. They don't even know what that means. I hear you, Christine. Go ahead, but that's way too nice for these uneducated savages. It is what it is.
How about punks?
No, that's a punk is somebody, that talks and can't back it up. These are like super bad people times, on steroid. I just, Christine, please help me. Where did this come from?
Bad parenting and social media.
You think social media is responsible for their behavior?
And bad parenting.
Right. But I mean, Christine, in my day, girls would fight. And when I was growing up, one might say to their friend, they were timid, but one might say to their friend, girl, hold my earrings, or give me some Vaseline to put on my face so she don't scratch my face. And then they have a little cat fight for 30 seconds, and then that's it. This woman has a derriere for enough of 10 of us, and she looks like she's had 1,000 pork chops. And the woman, the petite woman, pulls her panties down, her thong down. So we see everything that God gave her, and I mean everything, her backside and her private part. And she's proud of it. She starts twerking. You got 1,000 men standing right behind her. We can see her vagina and her butt, and she starts twerking. I don't understand this. And then does a split on a they had those police stands, the barricade. She does a split on the barricade. So in other words, she was proud of this. This would have never happened when I was growing up. I just don't understand.
I saw the video. She's an attention whore. And that's not the way we used to fight growing up in Brooklyn or even here on Staten Island, us girls. I don't know, not the girls that I fought with.
Right. So you said she's an attention whore? Is that the term you used?
Yes.
And what do you mean exactly by in that regard?
She'll do anything for attention, good or bad.
But Christine, do you really want that type of attention with 1,000 males standing behind you and we can see your vagina?
Well, I wouldn't, but obviously she does.
Wow. Well, Christine, thank you for giving me some perspective here. Thank you very much. Let's go to Ben, line 4 in Brooklyn. Good morning, Ben. What's on your mind?
Yeah, Dominic, let me get off speaker. Okay, what's on my mind?
Ben, I don't hold for people on speaker. So this is the last time I'm going to do it. Go ahead.
I'm off speaker, Dominic. Okay.
You know why I don't do it? Because we've wasted 15 seconds waiting on you.
No, I'm off speaker. Okay. All right. So, I say we lost our country. Reason being, I work at a government facility, and majority of the people are foreigners, either from the islands, Chinese, South American.
Ben, get to the point. You're setting up this long story. Get to the point.
So my point is that I believe we lost our country. And the reason is
simply because wait. Simply because you work with foreigners, that don't mean we've lost the country.
Okay. Another point, Dominic, is that you talk about the twerking and stuff like that. Just as our kids have been indoctrinated with liberalism, they've also been indoctrinated by lack of God. They took prayer out to school in the 60s, I think it was. And so, you have no absolute authority.
So
are you there?
That's why a girl is going to be proud. A girl that frankly should give up some of those pork chops and enough derriere for 10 of us. That's why she's proud that we can see her actual butt and her vagina.
Oh, how about this, Dominic? How about this? You talked about your youth, right? Let's talk about the same sex. When we were growing up, being gay was not something that was, whatever, but now it's accepted.
You're correct.
All right. So the thing is, the moral decay has seeped into the fabric of our society. And so the thing is, we need to turn back to God. And the person that talked about, I think, what was it? What were they saying? Vance, right? Vice President Vance. He said, we're the main source of Israel's support. But America is just a human, whatever. God is married to Israel. I'm a biblicist. I'm a Bible believer. And so you can read the book of Revelation and the book of Daniel, and it tells you the end of the story, as Paul Harvey used to say. Now, here's the rest of the story. So you want to hear the end of the story?
Just
read those
quickly,
2 books. Please.
I have a ton of calls.
I'm done.
Oh, you're done. Okay, Ben. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. But just do me a favor, Ben. I have a pet peeve about people that's on hold because most times I'll just go on to the next call. I do not slow down the show because we got to wait for you or anybody else. Thank you for the call. Robert in Philadelphia, line 1. Robert, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. It's good to talk to you again. I had originally called about the memorandum of understanding, but if it would be better if I could switch gears to the current conversation, that would be fine as well.
Go ahead, Robert.
I think you have. I would say it's sociopathic behavior, and you can argue all day long about whether it's caused by bad parenting, bad communities, bad education, bad media, whatever. All I'm saying is that you have those dynamics at work all over the country, but it's tolerated in the areas where you see it. If these things happened in areas where you didn't have the lax law enforcement and the attitude of the Democrats, you wouldn't have this because it would be broken up, people would be arrested, and there'd be consequences. And that's why you don't have these things in places that aren't run lock, stock, and barrel by Democrats.
Hey, Robert, I don't mean to body shame anybody, right? But candidly speaking, and you can go look at my Twitter. This girl has got enough butt, backside, derriere, whatever term and for 10 of us. And the other girl pulls down her shorts and her thong comes down. Her thong is up in, you know where it is. And she starts twerking after all these men are looking at her butt in the back of her vagina, and she starts twerking, and then she does a split, and then she comes down and starts punching the girl, and then the men break it up, and then you have the shooting in Times Square. Explain this to me, Robert. You're a man of reason. Explain this to me, please.
Well, like I said, it's the area that it's in. It's encouraged, and it's kind of a mob mentality. And, well, to me, the only test is, was she good enough to make it rain, Dominic? I don't think so.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Since you can't unsee certain things, I'll pass on your invitation to watch the video. But all I'm saying, man, is like this isn't necessary. We shouldn't have to be dealing with this, man. And all it takes is the Democrats being serious about law and order for a change, and I promise you it wouldn't be anywhere near as prevalent as this. It falls on the Democrats. I mean, I hate to always be political, but they're the ones that allow the lax law enforcement, the marginalization of law enforcement. Do whatever you do, whatever you say, whatever you do, we'll call it free speech. When a Republican just speaks, they call that violence. But when the left wing does violence, they call that free speech. And that's
so
the problem.
Robert. Hey, Robert. So this young lady was not embarrassed at all these men seeing her backside and the rear of her vagina. She wasn't embarrassed by this.
It might be clickbait on social media. You know, she might actually get some money from this. I know.
Wow. She needs to go on a diet. I mean, oh my God, this girl had enough backside, and she was so proud of it. Robert, we didn't see her underwear. We saw her backside and her vagina.
Well,
this is what we saw, and she was twerking after we saw all of this.
Look at it like a sports guy. She had a backfield in motion. Let's move on to the next play.
Okay, she had a backfield in motion. I like that, Robert. Thank you for the call. It is time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And back to the phones we go. Line one, Jack in Stamford, Connecticut. Good morning, Jack. What's going on?
Good morning. I wanted to comment on the previously a woman that was talking about the income tax and how Mogdani would be very excited with all that. But she's incorrect, because I'm pretty sure most of these Knicks do not live in New York City, let alone New York State. They probably live in Florida or Nevada, a state where there's no state income tax.
That's not true, Jack. Most of them live in New York State. But what's your other point?
Okay, my point is New York City. They don't tax non-residents, so the New York City didn't get anything from them.
Jack, is there another point that you want to make, Jack? They have to pay taxes like everybody else. Whether or not they escape city taxes or not, I don't know. So, for example, I don't live in the city of New York, and I think I pay city taxes as well. What is your other point,
you do
Jack?
not. You do,
Jack.
You do
okay,
not,
let's move on
Dominic.
to the next call. Thank you for the call. Thank you for being an expert and you don't know what you're talking about. Let's go to line 2. Joe in New Jersey. Joe, good morning. What's on your mind?
Yeah, good morning, Dominic. I got the word for you. You know what you call these people? Misfits. The ones that do all these crazy things.
That's too nice of a word. I don't have the right word for them.
Wackadoo? A wacko? Wacko?
No, I mean,
what about that?
They're like super losers on steroids.
Right.
You know what it is. No morals, baby breeders, criminals. I mean, I don't know what you call it. And Democrats love them. Love them.
No, you got it. You got it, Dominic. You got it right. No fear of the law. No God. They took God out of the schools, like the man said. No morals. No respect for anything. They're just out of it.
And I just don't understand why they get to ruin it for everybody else. Who in their right mind would open fire in Times Square with a gun a few hours after the Knicks parade? Who would do something like that?
An unhappy individual. Very unhappy.
Unhappy.
No respect for themselves. No respect.
No respect for themselves. No respect for their mother.
Yeah.
No respect for anything.
Exactly.
Wow. Joe, thank you for the great call. Let's go to Sam, line 3, New Jersey. Good morning, Sam.
How you doing, Dominic?
I'm good. Go right ahead, please, Sam.
So I was calling about the Iran deal, but you want to know what causes people to do this. It's a mix of bad parenting and years and years of bad city policies that lead to people acting the way they are acting. And now a quick point on the Iran deal, and I want to know your take. I want to know if you agree with me. There's some provisions in the MOU that I personally don't like. I don't like that Iran's getting money. There's a lot of things I don't like about it. But
whoa. Is it realistic to think that they were not going to get money?
I agree with you, but you can't trust them on anything.
Mm-hmm.
These are religious fanatics. I don't like the whole deal. You can't make a deal with these religious fanatics, but I think that Trump should earn our respect, and we should trust him to do his process. Everyone doubted that he would become president, go through his first term when he made the Abraham Accords, when he lowered taxes, he closed the border this term, Venezuela, he took Maduro. There's so many things that everybody thought would be impossible for him to do that he did. So even though I don't like this deal, I think we should give him some time to do his thing. Now, this should be true for all the people on the left that don't like it, and also all the people on the right.
Left. Sam, I got 10 seconds left. Go ahead, quickly.
All the people on the left and on the right that don't like it should give Trump the time to run his course.
Agreed. Thank you. So on many of these stations that I'm on right now, my colleague coming up, my great colleague, Walter Sterling, is quoting that Bob Grant used to refer to them as mutants. I need something a million times worse than that, because these are super losers in life. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?